Hey guys, what is up? We are finally live. Now, firstly, one thing I have to say is apologies for being a few minutes late. I have to apologize for that one. Basically, I was doing some work stuff that I have to do on my laptop and I was running a bit late with that. I was going fast. At the same time, I was trying to sort the audio out for this stream. Basically, we were originally going to be reacting to Luke Stevens' Assassin's Creed Mirage conspiracy video, but there's going to be a slight change of plan because I couldn't for some reason get OBS to actually play audio back to me. So you guys would have been able to hear the video, but I wouldn't have been able to hear it. I've been messing around with settings and everything, but I couldn't figure it out. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to figure out, and then hopefully next week we can react to that. So this week it is a change of plan, so I do apologize for that. But we will still be talking about Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I'm just going to play off of the thumbnail, which says no game to be shown. So now we're going to be talking about, for the main topic, is Assassin's Creed Mirage actually ready to be shown, or is it actually, in fact, nowhere near ready to be shown? So that's going to be our main topic today instead. Again, I do apologize for that, but, you know, right now, I need to just take some time to, like, properly figure out the audio and how I can actually, you know, fix it in OBS so I can actually hear what's going on. I was stressing out. I was like, oh my god, it's nearly 3 o'clock, oh my god. And I thought, I'm just gonna have to make do with what we can today. And then, yeah, next week we will we will react to that. So this week, we will be talking about Mirage, as I said, but is what it is. Jorm D. Worm says, unfortunately, I need to go right as the stream started, but I'll catch up later. That's fine, yeah, don't worry about it. Do what you gotta do. And as I say, you know, a lot, this will be here forever after this stream has ended, so you can go back and listen to it whenever you want. So I see there's a lot of you guys in the chat, you know, talking to each other while I'm while I was taking ages to get ready. So I'll have a read through the chat real quick. Actually, what I will do is I'll just double check the stream is all good for you guys. Seems like it is. Seems like it is, but you know, got to be sure. Don't want to record for an hour and or an hour and a half, and then there's no audio or something. Now I'm really scared because obviously me worrying about the audio. Got an ad. I'm just literally checking it on my own actual channel. Just be easier. Oh yeah, we're fine. We're fine, mate. We're fine. So yeah, I will do my usual, where you know we discuss with each other. You can ask me stuff, you can say your own stuff, and you know we can talk about that and that sort of things. And we'll get into some other topics here and there. Let me have a little read of chat though. Yeah, that was me saying I was gonna be late. Someone said you're good. Thank you. Don't know if you'll cover this, but Tom Henderson tweeted yesterday that Ubisoft is planning to show gameplay for Nexus and Mirage in June at E3. Yeah, makes sense. I don't know who Tom Henderson is, but that makes sense. It's a shame that it's such a long way away when we originally thought we were going to be getting the game at, you know, the beginning of 2023, and then it ended up being delayed internally, and now we're not probably even going to see anything until the summer of 23. You know, that is a bit of a shame, seeing we are so excited ourselves. But listen, it is what it is, isn't it? You know, what can you do? What can you do? And it makes sense to be June, I think, because even if they're not at E3, you know, usually companies like Sony, Xbox, and like other companies such as Ubisoft, you know, they do their own little events in summer. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense if they are gearing up to release maybe at the end of the year. If they really have delayed it all the way to the end of the year, June makes a lot of sense. It's a while away, and it's crazy to think I'm probably going to be somewhere completely different when I'm actually streaming Assassin's Creed Mirage when it comes out, because it's not set in stone yet. It's not fully confirmed, but I will probably be moving to London in around end of summertime. I don't live in London at the moment. I live in a city which is not too far away from there, but it's, you know, a couple hour at least. So I might be moving there. So it's just crazy to think that I might be literally in a whole different city, you know, when Mirage comes out, and I'll be streaming at a whole different point in my life. But you know, it is what it is what it is. And then Jorm says, that explains why there's still no gameplay, but Luke Stevens made a fair point that it's weird that the collector's edition is already available. Yeah, I assume that's probably he said that within the video we were going to react to before my audio messed up and I couldn't do that. But yeah, because I literally haven't watched that Luke Stevens video at all because I was saving it for the stream. So I do need to. We will definitely watch that next week. We definitely will. It's just, again, as I said, technical issues. Technical issues are a bitch. We hate technical issues, but they do exist. But, you know, the collector's edition being already available, whether the game is ready, whether it's far away or not, it's kind of negligible information at this point because, you know what Ubisoft are like. They're going to push pre-orders for you to give them as much money as possible before the game is ready or before there's anything to be shown because they are, that is their business model. They are make as much money as possible, do as little as possible. Huge profits. That's just the way they are. So obviously they're going to show the boost availability for pre-orders as soon as they can. They announce a game, you can pre-order it right now because they want money right now. And with collector's edition, it's no different. That's even more money for them. They play into people's, I guess you could say, nostalgia because the series has been around for a long time. They also play into people's sort of desire for stuff they want, like, I want it now, and if they pre-order it, it feels like, yep, it's mine. Like, it really feels like I've got the next Assassin's Creed game, even if it's not out. So, they play into all that stuff, and I mean, that's just business at the end of the day, especially when they're these massive sort of corporation type things, you know what I mean? Personally, I'm not even upset that they're releasing it at a big place like E3. To be honest, I have no doubt that the game will be good. That's what Lowly Tarnished says. As I said, it makes sense. It makes sense, and you have no doubt the game will be good. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I'm fortunate for myself. I have a lot of doubts that but that's just because I make videos on the Assassin's Creed series now. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about what I liked about the older ones, and now when I play games thinking, okay, well, I'm probably going to make a video about this, I feel way more critical when it comes to that stuff. So, I have my doubts, but if I was just the average consumer at this point, like I was with the last Assassin's Creed game before I was making videos, and I just wanted to play it, have a good time, I would still be critical just because I know where the series has gone, but I definitely wouldn't be as critical, and I'd be a lot more excited for it, that's for sure. Oh, and then Lowly says, what's up, XR? Hey man, what's up with you? And then he says, I think them showing off the collector's edition and allowing pre-orders is perfectly fine. I mean, if you buy it before the game is shown, then go ahead, but I also think they just wanted to show it off. Listen, for me, personally, I think you shouldn't, whoever you are, Ubisoft, Naughty Dog, CD Projekt Red, EA, anyone, whoever you are, I don't think you should allow pre-orders until you've shown at least at least the game in one aspect or another, the actual game. So we haven't seen gameplay, we don't know what it's going to be, we really don't. We're only being told what it's going to be rather than actually being shown. Now, just from, I suppose this is my personal principles and stuff, if it was me, if I was a company, I would feel kind of wrong allowing people to put their money into something they don't really know what it is going to be, just based off of their own hype, their own image of what it's going to be in their head, and their own assumptions, I guess you could say. So, and then when the game comes out or gameplay is shown and it might be something completely different to what the person who pre-ordered thought it was going to be, and then they're like, oh, I can't believe I pre-ordered it, I wasted my money, That's why, personally for me, I feel like if it was me, and if I was to tell other companies what to do, I would say, show gameplay, or show a gameplay trailer, or something like that, and then allow the pre-orders. But, again, I clearly wouldn't run a very good major corporation, would I, if I was thinking like that? So, you know how it is. I'm just thinking how we want to take this stream, because, as I said, the main topic is going to be what I've retitled this to be. If you end up refreshing your tab, if you're on your PC or if you're on your phone, just go off the video and go back on it. If you do that, you're probably going to see an updated title saying, is Assassin's Creed Mirage even ready to be shown? Because I feel like I've got a few things to say about that, and it kind of leans into what we probably would have ended up talking about anyway. Before that, though, I want to take a quick divergent, if that's the right word, take a quick tangent and talk about Hogwarts Legacy real quick. Now, the only reason I'm talking about this, I know it's not Assassin's Creed, is firstly because, again, this is a podcast, and when I timestamp this, people can skip back and forth and stuff like that, and we won't spend too much time on it anyway, but also because I have a few thoughts to say, and I am making currently a video on Hogwarts Legacy. Now, it's not a video about the game itself, it's a video more about the controversy surrounding it. You know, should you buy it or should you boycott the game, as a lot of people will be talking about. So I kind of wanted to make a video that kind of puts everything on the table for people that don't quite know what's going on and might maybe want to play the game. So I have put everything on the table. I say why there's a controversy around it, and why people are boycotting it, and why people aren't boycotting it, and then I kind of give my own opinion at the end, like, what am I personally doing? And I think that's going to be a well-rounded, good video. I feel like, you know, people that, again, aren't quite sure what's going on, why there's this controversy, but they do maybe want to buy the game, but they are a bit scared if they buy it, something bad might happen, you know what I mean? I made this video for people like that, and I mean also, you know, people that just enjoy my videos are going to enjoy it, because it's one of those more scripted, well edited, you know, longer videos that take a bit of time. It's one of those. So I look forward to that one coming out, and I also wanted to give my thoughts kind of on the game as a whole, because I've been playing the game now for like 7 hours, 8 hours, something like that, and everyone's going on about it's an amazing game. Now, I won't give too much away, because I might end up making like a proper video on it once I've kind of finished it, but I'm not sure yet. But, you know, with my first impressions, I like the game. It's fun. There's like puzzles to do around the world, kind of similar to the ones in Breath of the Wild, which are really enjoyable. You know, their characters are quirky and whimsical. They're really fun. But I do have a few issues. I enjoy the open world as well. I think the open world is really good. You know, it's distracting. You walk in one direction, but you get distracted by something else, and you go find it, and you go do that, and you go. It's cool, but it's not just about that. In my opinion, there's a lot more to a game, and there are a lot more things about the game that I personally don't think are that good. Again, I'm not going to get into too much detail now. I will just brush over this, and then we will get back to our main topic. But I think when it comes to how can we put this? When it comes to I guess you could say writing. Well, okay, no. What we'll start with is the game suffers, in my opinion, from what I call, I'm not sure if anyone else has called it this or not, but what I call Odyssey Syndrome, which is when a game gives you a sort of character that already exists, kind of, and then basically gives it no character traits because it's also trying to let it be your character, but because this character has a voice, you can't really make it your character. It's a character that exists, but then the character's really dull because it's trying to be very broad to fit anybody's perspective, but then it ends up giving the character no personality and being really boring. That's what I find the protagonist of the Hogwarts Legacy game to be. You know, you name your character what you want to name them, you make them look how you want them to look and everything like that. You can be male or female, you can choose a male or female voice. But then that's the thing, you choose a voice, and this voice, I really think that they tried to make this voice very sort of just monotone and not much emotion, because then you can, they want it to be your wizard, your witch, they want it to be you. But the thing is, as soon as you give them a voice, it's not you, you're playing as a character, and yeah, you made that character, but it's not you, it's a character you're playing as, because it has its own voice, and it's just really off-putting, because I'll be playing the game, I'll be choosing dialogue options, and, you know, my character she'll be talking in her voice, but her voice is really bland and boring compared to all the other characters. I try and look for some personality, but there isn't really any. And I do think the developers did that so that I could put my own personality onto the character. But again, because the character has a voice, you can't really do that. What they should have done, in my opinion, is give your wizard or your witch no voice at all. But then, like in Skyrim or Knights of the Old Republic, some of the BioWare games, you read dialogue options and you choose them. You read the voice is you. The voice is you. You're reading it in your head, and you can apply any personality onto the character you want, and then it makes sense. I do think they should have done that. Lowly says, didn't they record one person's voice and then change the pitch to make it sound like you want? Yeah, they did do that. It's really weird. Yeah, basically, you can choose the pitch. You can obviously choose a male or female voice, and then you can choose the pitch of that to have a deep voice or a high voice. But the thing is, as soon as you alter the pitch at all, it goes really, you can tell it's pitched, like in any audio sort of editing, when you alter the pitch of something, it can get a little bit sort of, I guess you could say tinny, a little bit echoey, a little bit robotic in a way. It kind of gives off that effect. So as soon as you alter the pitch, you can just hear like a robotic sort of reverb to it, if that makes sense. And it's really weird. So I just went for the standard non-pitched voice. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I really enjoy the game. It is very off-putting when you play as a character that is just so dull and there's nothing about them. Again, trying to be anybody's witch or wizard, because everyone's different, but then you give them a voice and it kind of goes against that. It contradicts it. It's really weird. Other than that, though, I would say dialogue choices so far, because again, I'm not very far into the game, but so far, dialogue choices haven't meant much either. It's again been a bit like Odyssey, whereas whatever dialogue choice you choose, you kind of get the same outcome. You kind of get the same reaction, just maybe a little bit different, bit varied. And, did there really need to be dialogue choices if it was going to be like that? The extent of dialogue choices I've seen so far is you complete a quest and someone goes, oh, thank you so much. You can choose to say, no, my pleasure. Or you can choose to say, well, you can have this thing I found, but it will be at a price. Or you can choose to say, I don't really care either way. But whatever you choose, you kind of just get the same outcome. Maybe I get a bit more gold, or maybe they'll, instead of saying, oh, that's lovely, thanks, they'll say, oh, okay, and that'll be it. So there's not much to the actual RPG aspects when it comes to that stuff. And as I talked about a lot just then, the character voice. Other than that, though, open world is really fun. Again, the challenges you can do throughout the world and the exploration is really fun. And this game was pretty much made to have Hogwarts exploration in mind and to immerse yourself within that world. So it does a good job, and I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying those are my issues with it so far. And there are a few more issues, but there also are a few more things that I really like about it. And I think I will make a video, because clearly I've got a lot to say about it. Honestly, Lowly says, I honestly hate how they did that, because you can try and make a Hispanic character, like how someone could be in real life, but then they just end up sounding like a white guy with a certain pitch. Yeah, I get you. There's not much character creation. Yeah, that's the thing. When it comes to visuals, character creation is really in depth, as it can be, I suppose. As you said then, you can be really diverse. You can be a black person, you can be a white person, you can be Asian, you can be Hispanic, you can be any sort of race. You can be male or female, or there are options to be like non-binary and stuff. So it's very accommodating for all diversity. But then the voices are just male or female, and just one emotion, and it's just very rigid compared to a very diverse visual. It's very diverse visually, so it's weird and feels awkward when you have a very rigid sort of emotionless voice. And I feel like it should be your own voice. Be silent, be your own voice, so anybody who creates their own character how they want them to be can have any voice in their head. And especially since Harry Potter is based on books, I feel like that would have worked really well. But that's just me. Anyway, I ain't really got much else to say about Hogwarts Legacy, to be honest with you. That's kind of how I feel about it so far. I am enjoying it. And as I said, one more little bit of announcement. I am making a video on the controversy around it and, what's going on. What do you want to personally do? And the aim of the video is for you to, at the end of the video, think, okay, now I know what's going on. And now I can make my own opinion. I lay it all on the table, as I said, and you can form your own opinion. And I'm not telling you to do one thing or the other. That's not for me to say. It's kind of what I say in the video. I'm leaving it for you guys to decide for yourself, and I give my own opinion because that's just the way I am. I couldn't make a video without giving my opinion as well. That's because it's my video I made. I really kind of wanted to do that. It's all respectful though. It's all respectful of both views and stuff like that, of anything you choose. And I think it's a good video. Sure, there are going to be people that hate on it because that's just the way it is, especially when it's a hot topic. But that's fine. That's the way it is. If you're scared about pushback, then you're never really going to go very far, are you? So yeah. That's kind of the only thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to stuff that isn't the main topic. So yeah, we can just mainly properly get into Assassin's Creed Mirage now. And that's probably when I'm going to start seeing the chat light up when everybody wants to, say stuff about Mirage, which is what I love. Why did I say what I love? That was really weird. It is a bit of a shame that we can't react to that video today because I was actually looking forward to doing that. But again, we will do that next week. I promise. I will find a way to fix the audio and we'll do it. I just couldn't figure it out today, and I didn't have enough time to sit down and do it before 3 o'clock. I've been very busy today with work, and I've got to do a lot of work after this as well. And then I've got to go out for my weekly Friday meal, as I always say to you guys that I do on a Friday. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do. But as I said, we'll fix it for next time. I've had a quick look read in chat to see if I missed anything. Jorm, I know Jorm's not watching right now. He said he had to go, but he said earlier, from what I've read, they moved a great amount of employees from cancelled games to Red and Mirage. Besides that, I don't think there's news. Yeah, I read about that. Yeah, they were saying, it makes sense, with a lot of Ubisoft's games being cancelled. There's these teams of people working on these games that are now like, well, what do we do? What do we work on now? So it makes sense for Ubisoft to be like, all right, well, let's take this team that was working on this cancelled game. Let's bring them over to, the most important games that we're having released at the moment. Mirage, Japan, that sort of thing. And let's get them working on that. That makes a lot of sense. It does. And Lowly says, why do people get so upset about the Prince of Persia pre-order skin? Like, I get it's the mythos of Prince of Persia, but YouTubers get so upset. So are you saying, are you basically saying you don't get why people are annoyed that is a pack, or whatever you want to call it, in a pre-order? Yeah, so this is kind of how I see it. I'm not that annoyed about it, but people that get really annoyed about the Prince of Persia pre-order skin, it's because, it's a reminder to them that about the bad days. It's a reminder to them of Odyssey and all its mystical gear and its mystical mounts and stuff like that. And when they see that, they think, oh, well, that's an indication that Mirage is just going to be, another Assassin's Creed Odyssey or have the sort of Assassin's Creed Odyssey monetization tactics. The reason, I personally like to remind myself, Assassin's Creed 2 had this, I might be an absolute fool right now and say the wrong name, but wasn't it like Gaiden or something? Gaiden, like that was like this outfit you could get from another game, and it was like this futuristic cyborg looking outfit that Ezio could wear in AC2. Ninja Gaiden, maybe it wasn't that, maybe it was something else completely. One of you guys can probably let me know in chat and tell me how wrong I am, but that was a futuristic skin you could get in the game, or not maybe a skin but outfit, and it was in the game. It was obviously completely law-breaking. It made no sense, even within the Animus, but it was there. Now, people seem to forget about that stuff. Now, I'm not saying that excuses Assassin's Creed Odyssey's, microtransaction sort of pushing of fantasy-style stuff. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, this Prince of Persia outfit and mount could just be something similar to that, you know? Something you can go about and be law breaking if you want, but it's no big deal, really. I think the part when it becomes a problem is if they also sell that in the microtransaction store. That gear actually has stats that when you wear that stuff, you have an advantage, and you know it kind of forces you to pay for it. And there's tons of fantasy stuff in that, and that sort of thing. And basically, I think people get upset when they see the Prince of Persia Mirage, Prince of Persia pre-order for Mirage, because again, it reminds them of Valhalla's lightsabers and if there was that, I don't even know if there was that, but Valhalla's Iron Man suit and Odyssey's, you know, horse with wings, and also Odyssey's like quests where you fight the Cyclops and Medusa and stuff like that. That's why I think people get annoyed about it. And then I don't get why people are upset about it being mythological. Like in Valhalla, they had skins you could buy, but that was it. They were purchasable items you didn't have to use. Yeah, I mean, with Valhalla and stuff like that, you know, what I found in the game, and this is just me, I found that there was a lot, you know, there was lots of gear, there was lots of, you know, cloaks, torso items, gloves, that sort of thing that you could find within the game, but there wasn't much. And I feel like as I was playing through a 100-hour game, or 80 hours or whatever it ended up being for me, you know, I kind of just ended up wearing the same cloak, the same armor once I'd found a good one, and I never really found a better one from like level whatever. So I feel like it seemed to me the microtransaction store locked off a lot of what maybe should have been in the game anyway, for money. And I never really changed outfits to a certain point because, you know, as I say, a lot of it was just in the microtransaction store. Now, again, you can say, well, you know, you don't buy it, there's no issue. And I understand that to a degree, but I look at the level of customization in Valhalla when it comes to finding stuff around the world that actually suits your level and stuff, and then I compare that to games like, you know, Skyrim, The Witcher 3, where I was changing my armor a lot, I was crafting my own stuff, whereas again, as I said, in Valhalla, I wasn't really doing that because I couldn't really find much that was a better stat than my gear unless I was to then go and buy it in the microtransaction store, which I wasn't going to do. So there's the argument to be made that, you know, this mythical stuff should have been in the game anyway, but then there's a whole other argument that why should it be mythical, because it makes no sense, and you know, we don't like that about Assassin's Creed. So it's a whole conversation that you've got to think about, and you know, you can take it from many different directions and stuff like that. And you know, I think if it was up to me, I wouldn't have mythical stuff in Assassin's Creed, just because for me, the Assassin's Creed series, you know, it used to be about I always liked RPG games, you know, Skyrim, The Witcher 3, KOTOR, to name a few. And I'd always play these massive games that were like hundreds of hours, but then every year I would be really excited to play a shorter, more action-adventure, more story-focused game such as Assassin's Creed, and it was kind of like taking a bit of a break from these massive games for me, and also taking a break from fantasy games and playing something a little bit more, sure, sci-fi and, you know, not true history, but something more grounded in history. It was nice for me, and I enjoyed that. So then when it came to be more mystical, more of an RPG, a longer game, you know, it just blended in with the stuff I was already playing, and it kind of put me off because I was like, I don't really want to be playing another fancy RPG. And then on top of that, with it not being, in my opinion, anywhere near as good as games like I was playing, like KOTOR, The Witcher 3, Skyrim, and stuff like that, you know, I just like, well, why? What am I doing right now? Why am I playing this? I played it for the first time, like Valhalla and Odyssey, because I didn't know where it was going next. That was fueling me to keep going. But then in retrospect, looking back, it's like, kind of wasted my time there and stuff like that. I think it should keep mythical items to keep flavor in the game. I can go through without it, of course, but I feel like the mythological items can add some flavor in New Game Plus. Yeah, I mean, let me think. I don't know. I stand with what I said, where I say, for me personally, I'm not a fan of the mythological stuff. But it's if it's there, in Mirage, if it's there in the store and it doesn't affect my gameplay, and there genuinely is enough armor and, well, not armor but robes for me to find and stuff like that within the game, then I'm happy, but to be honest, as long as it's story focused, maybe we get different robes throughout the game and it just kind of happens as you progress through the story. That's all I need. You know what I mean? I'm just happy that it's hopefully going back to kind of being a more linear game that I can enjoy again in between these bigger games that I do play. Um, so that's just me personally, but and also there's also the argument that I can completely understand, where it's, people say, well, you don't like microtransactions, well then just don't buy them. The thing is, I feel like not criticizing microtransactions. I'm trying to figure out a way to word this right. Microtransactions being in games, even if you don't buy them, are still an issue, because the more people that buy microtransactions and the more microtransactions are in games, the more companies are going to see these and say, oh, well, that's okay, we can chuck them in our games. And then the more that happens, the more they do lock off from the main game and the less of an experience you actually do get. And again, the more they do that, the more they think, well, that's okay to do. And then potentially the worse the game industry might become for it. The more money the game industry will make, but their games might not be as creative, have as much in the actual base price game that you buy. And that's I kind of agree with that as well. Like, I feel like they should fairly be criticized, even if, that they have room for criticism. When you already buy a game, a lot of people expect, especially with a single player game, a lot of people expect to have that game once they buy it, or to at least have, the base game. So then when stuff gets locked off through microtransactions, and I'm not talking about any game in particular now, I'm just talking about games that do this in general. When games lock off progression in a single player game, or make it a lot harder to try and push these booster packs to you and stuff like that, XP booster packs, gold booster packs, I think it deserves fair criticism where it's due, because again, it's negatively affecting your gameplay experience and making it harder, solely for the fact that, or solely for the purpose to get you to buy more when you've already bought that game. So yeah, it deserves criticism. And I will never really agree with the people that just say, don't like it, don't buy it, don't like it, don't play it. It's like, if that was the case, nobody would criticize anything. Everybody would think stuff is okay, and maybe this is an exaggerated example, but it kind of makes sense with what I'm saying. If nobody criticized anything, nobody would understand where to be able to improve. And also, things might get so egregious because of no criticism and them just thinking it's okay. They might sell you the game for $100, and then when you buy the game, you get one mission, and they say, all right, well, now you want to play the rest of the game, then you can buy the rest of it for $200 more. Again, it's an exaggerated example, but I'm just saying, without criticism, things cannot improve. So that's where I stand with that. And Ashi, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, wow, active chat today. Yeah, I think it's because I was late. I think it's because I was late and everybody got talking with each other while they were waiting for me to come on. So I think that's what pushed it. And obviously our boy Loli is very active in the chat. Well, without having to see it, me personally, I hope Mirage doesn't have those mythological aspects in the game. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it'll be what it'll be, I hope that Ubisoft listens, but it does. I don't know if they do listen. I don't know if they do. So we'll see. I'm still optimistic. But like I said last episode, I'm optimistic, but I will reserve myself because I don't want to be too let down. Right, now let's get into our main sort of topic. Do I think Assassin's Creed Mirage is even ready? Now that's a conversation, and we're about to have it. Let me just quickly go and grab some water, because I have a dry throat from all the talking. So bear with me 1 minute. I will return with some water. Ah. That's nice. That's nice. It's nice. What do you guys think of the fit today? I'm wearing a Lakers basketball jersey, if you want to call it that, with obviously my little coat that I love to wear. I wear it a little bit too much, and I thought it was a pretty good look. Also, I have a medal. Look at this. I have a medal. Look at that shit, man. Look at that shit. I have a medal. Basically, I got this when I was like 13, mate. This was like 10 years ago. I went on a ski trip with my school that I was with, and at the end of the ski trip, they gave us everybody a medal. I was pretty shit at skiing, so you know, when you know everybody got a medal, and it says ZLMC 2014. Can you see that? ZLMC 2014, man. Basically, shall I put it on? Don't worry, guys. I know I'm a weirdo, right? But we are going to be getting into the main topic. I saw it there and I was like, yeah, look at that. Yo, let's go. Okay, yes. Okay, it's actually surrounded in a load of bad memories, this medal, which is funny because I look like I loved it. Yeah, it's surrounded by a load of bad memories because I was never bullied in school, but when I was on the ski trip, I actually got like pretty badly bullied by everybody, and it was my fault. Well, it wasn't my fault for bullying, but you know, it was my fault that I pissed everybody off. I thought I was trying to make friends. And but I actually was being annoying. I was like, oh, I'll break the ice. And I was like flicking light switches on and off when everyone's trying to sleep. I was like poking people. I was 13. I didn't know how to make friends, mate. I was socially awkward. And everybody started to hate me and they literally bullied me. Some kid punched me in the face and gave me a nosebleed. Oh, mate. That's a whole other story. But at least I got a medal out of it. The only medal I've ever got. And it's actually cool now. Like, after I came back from that trip, I never got bullied again. But it was good. It was a good experience to learn what real bullying is truly like. Anyway, moving on. Loli says, I think the devs are kind of blending. Oh, we already talked about that, did we not? Yeah. Hey, Dan Nerd, how we doing? It's good to see you guys, you know, when I remember you guys, you know, familiar faces. Dan, what we're doing today is we're going to be discussing Assassin's Creed Mirage. Obviously, what else do we do? And we're going to be talking about, you know, if the game is as ready as we think it is. And I'm going to base that off of the game not being shown, you know? The game was announced via a CGI trailer back in, I think it was September. Oh, that was a long time ago, mate. That was a long time ago. And from then, they said the game was coming early 2023. Early 2023 is here. We have seen nothing. We've seen no gameplay. That's news. That's not news to all of you. You know it. But it makes me think: is that because the game isn't ready? Are they behind their schedule? You know that happens with a lot of game companies. You know, they're making something, and it's not just games. Anything, movies. Making videos. Sometimes you get behind schedule, and you really think you're on track, but unforeseen things happen. Especially with the unforeseen circumstances right now with, Ubisoft's current issues with investors pulling out, losing money, cancelling games, basically kind of shitting themselves. They're kind of like, oh my fucking god right now, what do we do? And, that could potentially impact the development of the game. You'd think they'd actually start to rush it to get it out the door at that point, so that could be the case, but Also, I was watching this video. Can't remember who it was by. I don't think I knew who they were. I can't remember. Maybe I did. And they were saying there's news, or an insider was talking about Mirage and saying the development actually changed course. So like they were making it a certain way. And I'm not talking about when it was a DLC and then moved to a game. I'm talking after that. They were making it in a certain way, maybe with a few more RPG aspects than we care to talk about. And at a certain point, they were like, okay, mate, let's dumb it down. Let's make the game a bit smaller and stuff like that. So maybe the reason we haven't seen gameplay yet is because they've taken a completely different shift in gameplay. Like maybe And I wonder, I could be completely wrong, but I wonder, people like me making those videos about will Assassin's Creed Mirage have this? I made a whole massive series about, will Assassin's Creed Mirage have Eagle Vision? Will it have good parkour? What I think makes a good Assassin's Creed game, and I was talking about what I personally want to see in Mirage, and I guess I accurately reflected what a lot of you guys also think, and, you have your own opinions in the comments. Maybe Ubisoft would take in a look, I'm not talking about me, I'm a tiny YouTube channel, I doubt they saw my videos. I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it. But maybe they took a look at videos like mine, and they thought, oh my god, everybody's talking about they want the game to be like this, because of our financial decline right now and anxiety, I suppose you could say. Maybe we need to take a different approach to this game. So maybe they were like, we're going to hold off gameplay and we need to take a month or 2 months. We'll delay it till the end of the year instead of the beginning of the year. We'll take 6 months to basically keep the story, keep the world how it is, but change gameplay. Like maybe we're going to add No, I didn't say we're going to add hoes. I didn't mean to say that. Maybe we're going to add low and high profile, where you walk, and maybe that wasn't there before. Maybe we're going to overhaul combat a little bit and make it a little bit better than what we had originally. Maybe, I don't know, let me think. Well, they said they're going to cut things down, so maybe we're going to get rid of a lot of filler content like Valhalla had a lot of, and we're going to make it more streamlined and good. Maybe that is the case, and that's why I haven't seen gameplay, because they want to take a few more months to sort of change things around. Now, that's complete speculation, and I could be wrong, and maybe it's too late to do that, Maybe it is way too late to do that. I don't know. But, it's a possibility, because there's clearly something going on. There's clearly something going on behind the scenes to the fact that we haven't seen gameplay yet. And it makes sense, that we haven't seen gameplay right now, because, well, if they're now going to release it at the end of the year, then we're going to see gameplay in the summer. That makes sense. That's always the way it's been with the series. The difference is, they announced it in September, told us it was coming in the early year, and even when that plan was probably still going ahead, we still didn't see gameplay all the way until Christmas, potentially months away from release, like only a couple months. So there was clearly something going on behind the scenes where they were like, shit, we need to delay this. We haven't seen anything. Clearly, because if I know it's completely different, but if I'm thinking about releasing a video, I tell everybody a video's coming out end of the week. I'm closing in on Thursday, I'm closing in on Friday, and I'm like, oh my god, the video's not even halfway done. Fuck me. I've said that it's going to come out at this time, and now it clearly isn't, and I haven't shown anybody a trailer, let's say, or I haven't made a community post about it. People are going to start to think, well, what's going on? And maybe then I delay it to the weekend. Obviously I had my own issues, and the reason why, in this example, the video was delayed, let's say it's because I had way more work on than I thought I was going to, that isn't to do with YouTube, and maybe, let's say, I forgot about my friend's birthday, and I had to go out for that on Saturday night, so I didn't have much time to edit, anything going on. What I'm trying to say is, with a shitty example, is Ubisoft might have so much stuff going on behind the scenes, which makes a lot of sense when you corroborate the evidence of, what they've said about investors pulling out and dropping of sales and cancelling of games. I think there's a lot of change going on within the company right now, probably more than we even know, more than they're letting on right now or willing to announce. There's probably, teams shifting around, people leaving, people joining, maybe, and this is real speculation, you can't really take much from this, but maybe because of their potential decline or failure right now, maybe they're even in talks with companies that might be able to buy them out, like parent companies or publishers that can buy them out, to give them a lot of money so they don't freak out and to get things back on track. Even something like Xbox, maybe Xbox, they're in talks with them to make them a first party studio or something like that, where they only develop for Xbox. I don't know, that's speculation, but you never know what's going on. But what you do know is when any company at all faces some sort of pushback or problems or unforeseen issues within their company, you best believe they're going to do whatever they can do to get out of that, and they will explore every avenue. So who knows what's going to happen? And I do think that's got to be that's got to be a contributing factor to why we haven't seen anything to do with Mirage, why it was pushed back by, from the beginning of the year to the end, and stuff like that. It's a lot to take into account. It makes a lot of sense to me personally. Anyway, I might be completely wrong. What are you guys saying in chat? Ashy says, I always go when I'm reading. I don't know why. Ashley says, I'm holding out for gameplay in May and release in September/October personally. That's just you though, he says. Yeah, I mean, I originally thought we were going to see gameplay in like a month or two, but so many people have been saying it's probably going to be summer and then the end of the year now that I'm kind of more inclined to believe that now. I think, yeah, May, June. Realistically, their games always leak, so probably we'll see leaked gameplay. Oh, algorithm will like it if I say that. AC Mirage leaked gameplay. Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay leaks. If I say that, the algorithm might pick it up and like push me in the... Probably not. Anyway, yeah, like, I think it's probably gonna, gameplay could probably leak. Screenshots of gameplay could leak, and then, leading up to their presentation of the game in June. And then we just get a classic, like, October 31st release or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's when a lot of the games came out in the Assassin's Creed series. 65, Fire Red. Good to see you. Here's my problem. The game is available to pre-order. All we have is press releases. Oh shit, yeah. Completely forgot about that. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. There was someone, I think it was that Blackwoods dude who clickbaits tons. It was that guy. I swear it was him. I might be wrong, it might not have been him, but I'm pretty sure I saw a video of his ages ago where he was invited to a behind the scenes press sort of presentation of Mirage gameplay, because I swear I saw a video. Again, it might not have been him, maybe it was like Jaw Raptor or somebody, but they were saying it looks really good, it's really good looking, it's really a step in the right direction from what we saw. Again, we can't show you, but we can explain. Did that happen though, or were they just making it up? Because I completely forgot about that. So that would indicate that there is enough to be shown if they showed a gameplay presentation. But if they showed a behind the scenes gameplay presentation, you'd think, they'd look at people's reactions, they'd see stuff, they'd get people talking about it, and then they'd release the presentation themselves. That was back in September. It just doesn't make sense to me. What do you guys think in chat about that? Do you remember people talking about that? Anyway, I'll read the rest of what you said in chat. Releases in a cinematic trailer, but not even a release window beyond sometime this year. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And most games, pretty much all games, they can have weird release schedules and weird stuff like that, but it's never been this weird. It's always been something. We get something. It's just been so weird in the way that we get these gameplay screenshots. I don't think they are. They're more concept screenshots, maybe built-in engine. I don't know. We get a few of those. If you're just showing us that, why don't you just show us a clip of him walking around, or a GIF, even a GIF of Basim, diving into the hay in the game? That enough would spark so much hype. Why don't you do that? You know what I mean? Jaw Raptor is trustworthy in my opinion. Blackwood's on the other hand, not as much. Oh yeah, I get you. I think with Jaw Raptor, he seems like a good dude. I don't, again, and this is not to cause beef, I gotta respect everybody that makes content, because it's a grind in itself, especially when, people like Jaw Raptor are, making videos every day, and I get that. But, he definitely, kind of comes across as kind of like licking the ass of Ubisoft a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And listen, it's your career, I get it. You've built your career on a company, different company pretty much. You're gonna do what you gotta do to make your money. Yeah, so it is what it is, isn't it? But it's quite funny. But no, he seems like a good guy, and he lets you know what's up with the news, and he does other content as well. I'm pretty sure. I like Access the Animus. I like them. They or them, he. I don't know who how many people there are there, but I've used him, or them for sources for news in the past when they released that sort of Paris Games Week trailer that they showed. I did a breakdown, and that was, I had to credit them for that, so I like them as well. But Blackwoods, on the other hand, not as much, as Ashley said. Yeah, I find it so crazy how he can clickbait, insane amounts of clickbait, and people don't seem to care. I've read in the comments, I'm like, oh, I bet people are gonna say like about this clickbait, and nobody does. They just talk about it, and it shocks me. Because listen, I know I've done some clickbait stuff here and there, but I would never go as far as to make it look like a gameplay trailer and to do all this, because I feel like it's a bit cheap at that point, But so many people he seems to get away with it. Listen, you get away with it, you keep doing it, I guess. Hetsu Arise. Hello. I think that's your name. You right there watching. You're right. I know you're there. I can see you. I'm being a weirdo. Hello. Did you know that they will show gameplay in June? Are you sure? Do you know that for a fact? Because, a lot of people say we're going to see stuff, but have we been given any official confirmation? Because without that, you can only really take any information, whether it comes from a developer, comes from an insider or not. You've still got to take it with a pinch of salt, a grain of salt. We'll probably will see it in June, to be honest. But, what I personally think everybody should do is, take information that isn't official and, again, take it with a grain of salt and think, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to believe Mirage is ready at all, especially because Bordeaux hasn't ever made a full-scale game before. Yeah, but that's the thing. Maybe it's not ready. Maybe it's not. Maybe, what they showed, if they did show a behind closed doors presentation to the likes of Joraptor or Yoraptor, sorry, however you say it, and people like that, is maybe they showed them more of a pre-rendered sort of pre-rendered gameplay that wasn't really gameplay, or they just showed them in-engine footage. Maybe they just showed them a panorama of Baghdad and the surrounding areas. Maybe they showed them close-ups of Basim and the Hidden Blade in the engine. Maybe they did that. So, and maybe they did that because the game isn't really ready. Like, sure, they've made the world, they've implemented NPCs, they've got the story sorted out, but maybe gameplay hasn't been finalized. Maybe everything hasn't been implemented properly, and maybe they're rushing to do that, and maybe they haven't shown us gameplay, because if they did show us gameplay, we'd clearly see that this is not ready. You shouldn't have shown us this yet. And, as much as I want to see gameplay, I don't want to see something that's unfinished. I don't want to see something that is a potential mess. I want to see something that is polished, looking good, looking hopeful. So, Isaac says, Ubisoft said that they have too many games being made. Of course, it's not done. They get a mobile game coming out. They've got a mobile game coming out. 2 other AC games that aren't Mirage. Like, what are they doing? Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft have always been a company, from what I understand, that have, released a lot of games often. Frequently released games every year, So it's nothing really new. But maybe they've just bitten off more than they can chew this time. Maybe there's too much to handle, especially, and that's why they're cancelling games. There's got to be a reason that investors are pulling out, because, there's a reason that their games are selling badly at the moment, and that's because, firstly, they're probably not up to par. Secondly, not as many people are buying into microtransactions as they think, maybe. Their format of games people are getting wise to it. And I think I said this in a video ages ago, like, people will eventually get wise to your tactics if you're doing it kind of sneakily and you're being a little bit sly about it to get more money. If you're going to act like that, people will eventually, catch on and stop giving you the benefit of the doubt, I guess. So maybe that's what people are starting to do. And they're panicking. Shit, this is our next, our trajectory of the next 10 years. All of our games are within the same sort of model. People are catching on and are not buying into it anymore. what are we going to do? Let's delay all our games. Let's cancel 3 of them that are kind of too far gone. And let's, rework the model. I don't know. That might not be the case, but again, speculation. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think what, how it's possible. I'm not saying it will happen, but it's even possible the game might get delayed to 2024. I don't think that will be the case because we've got games coming out in 2024 as potentially even a AC Red coming out in 2024. Probably won't be until like 2026, I thought. But, we've got stuff coming out in 2024. So I don't think they would allow themselves to delay it to 2024. 2023 makes sense for them, especially coming up to the release of the Avatar game and stuff like that. When's Avatar coming out? That's a good indication. You guys can let me know in chat, but I'll also look it up. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora release date. Or I might sneeze. I might see. That's 2023 as well. Oh, wait. It says the game was titled Avatar Frontiers of Pandora with a trailer of E.T. Blah. Sorry, I can't speak. With an E3 trailer at 2021, and an announced release for 2022. The game is set standalone. The game was delayed in July 2022 from its original 2022 release to a 2023 to 2024 fiscal year. Really, yeah. So I'm guessing Avatar's probably coming out in early 2024. I think AC Mirage is coming out in late 2023. That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't think it would be the other way around because AC, Avatar's a huge household name at this point. But AC as a game series has a bigger name and I think has a bigger reach when it comes to sales and stuff like that. So they're going to want to release Mirage first, especially to try and dig themselves out of the potential hole that they're in. And then, Avatar's going to sell a ton. Of course it is. It's Avatar. It's just like the movies. It's going to sell a ton. But I don't think it would sell as well as an AC game particular, just because AC in the gaming space is well more known, well more, I guess, integrated into the video game genre, whereas, Avatar is going to make this transition from movie to then games, and it's more for people to chew on, so I feel like it makes more sense that a good selling game, but not as well as Mirage, is going to come out after Mirage. That makes sense. So the gameplay was leaked to a YouTube celebrity. No, I wasn't saying that. What I mean is, from what I heard months ago, this is going off of my memory, it was either Joraptor or Blackwoods or somebody else completely, made a video saying that, they were at a behind closed doors press conference sort of session where they showed the game off to a select few individuals of, AC Mirage around the release of the trailer as well that we saw. So basically what they would have done is if it did indeed happen, they would have got people for, journalists, they would have got Games Radar, who I actually did work experience for 7 years ago, by the way. They would have got Games Radar, IGN, people like that, and they would have, and potential YouTubers who are basically game journalists themselves when they make videos about games, would have sat them down, they would have shown it to them in a seminar type room or whatever. And again, they would have had to probably sign an NDA saying they will not record, they will not leak any of this, but they can talk about what they saw. Again, if that even happens, people can lie about this stuff for clout, for views, stuff like that. So I don't know whether it actually happens. And the fact that we haven't seen any gameplay ourselves for 6 months later makes me think they probably didn't have anything to show then. So I don't know whether it did happen. It would be good if I can try. I might try and do a bit of research, over the weekend, see if I can figure out if that press conference actually did happen. So yeah, we'll see about that. How long have we been going for? 59 minutes. and it's okay. I've got like an hour. I've got ages left before I gotta go. I mean, I've got to do a bit of work again aside from YouTube that I've got to do before I go out for dinner tonight. But we can stay on here for another half hour or something like that. And just I feel like we should talk about something a little bit more relaxing before we carry on with the Mirage stuff, just because that was a lot to digest, a lot to talk about, and I just need a minute. I just need a minute. I was watching the most recent episode of The Last of Us like a day or two ago, and I think that was the best episode so far. I think that was a really good episode. I think it, I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but Sam and what's his name, Max, Henry and Sam, those two characters were so good. I feel like it just, again, it was an episode that conveyed everything about The Last of Us, like its true sort of meaning, which is love, and how it survives in an apocalyptic world. And how characters have different interpretations of love, and how their love is different to another character's, as well as it had the themes of oh my god, and it had the main Kathleen. The reason she was after those guys was for love. And it also showed, the people who were even more of a threat than the dead. Well, not the dead, sorry, the infected. And then it had the infected again. It was just a really well-rounded episode. I really enjoyed that. I won't say too much more because I don't know if you guys have seen it, care about it. But yeah. As she says, what games are you playing lately? So, obviously, should I move the camera and sit? I need to sit back for a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm playing, obviously, Hogwarts Legacy, and then making some videos about that. That's kind of it at the moment. I mean, I'm finishing my second playthrough of KOTOR 2 because, as I announced in the community tab, I'm doing a sort of ultimate guide, retrospective review, sort of just the video about KOTOR 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Star Wars. So I'm playing my second playthrough of that on light side, and I'm nearly finished it. But so I'm doing that and recording gameplay for that and stuff. But then I need to play it again because when I played it the first time, well, the first proper time, a few months ago through the summer, I never recorded gameplay because I didn't think I was going to make a video on it. So now what I need to do is I need to go back and play it for the third time and play it on a dark side, because I did light side playthrough. I just do dark side now, so I can record all of the gameplay for dark side. So if I reference a quest line that goes completely different ways, whether you're dark side or light side, I can actually show that. So yeah, it's going to be a lot playing that again. But yeah, I'm nearly finished with my light side playthrough, and then I'll go to dark side. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. I did start playing The Witcher 3 Next Gen when Next Gen Edition came out, but I haven't come back to that for like a couple months just because I've been busy, to be honest with you. Like, I haven't played a lot of games recently. Like, I'll personally go through phases of playing a ton of games. Like, I'm playing games all the time, like, in my free time. And then I'll go through a phase of just not playing games, like, at all. Not playing games at all. And just doing other stuff. And it's like a phase I go through. Obviously, I talk about games a lot. I think about games a lot. But yeah, sometimes I just can't be bothered to play. And that's just kind of how it is for me. So I've not been playing loads of games recently, but Hogwarts Legacy has definitely got me back into playing games again and getting myself into playing them, multiple hours at a time rather than just feeling like I can't be bothered to play. I do that, yeah, a lot. So Lowly says, XR, are you excited for Dead Island 2? Interesting game to bring up. I think it'd be interesting, and I don't think I've seen you make my eyesight make videos. I guess you mean videos on Dead Island 2 or something. Yeah, like, I actually played Dead Island 1 when it came. Oh, mate, when did that come out? Shall we look up the year? Dead Island 2. Dead Island 1. Dead Island. release date. The original. 2011. Mate, that's crazy. I was 10. I was 10 when I played that game. And I was literally 10 when I played it. I played it on the PS3. My dad was playing it on his PS3. I didn't even think I had my own PS3. I had a Xbox 360 and an original Xbox. But I didn't have a PS3, but I'd play my dad's. And I had my own like profile on his PS3. So he was playing it and he was like, yeah, you can play it if you want. Yeah, let a 10-year-old kid play a game about murdering zombies, mate. But so I was playing Dead Island then, and I remember really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. There we go. I remember really enjoying it and thinking, wow, what a good game. I don't really remember it, to be honest. I remember you would go through an island. It was very comedic, was it not? Maybe not. I can't remember, mate. But I remember enjoying it. And then obviously I remember Dead Island 2 was announced in like 2014 or something. It was crazy. I remember I watch E3 every year, or I did before they kind of don't do it anymore, which is a shame. But I watched E3 every year. I tune into the streams. I'd fantasize about how I wish I could go there and actually watch it in real life, and then it wouldn't happen because I don't live in LA and I was a teenager. But I watch it every year, and I remember they announced Dead Island 2, and it was like the guy CGI of the guy jogging through, what was it, LA or something, like Venice Beach, and the zombies start coming for him and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like as the trailer was going on, I was like, oh funny, haha. I was like, oh, Dead Island 2. Never heard anything about it for years until, what was it, like 2019, 2020, 2021, until we actually started hearing about it. So yeah, I'm excited, I guess. I don't really care either way, to be honest with you. Nah, it will probably be a game that I play and enjoy, but I have no hype for it. I don't have hype for that many games, to be honest. I do have Assassin's Creed because, it's the, or one of the most beloved series in my life. I have hype for Elder Scrolls 6 because I've been waiting for that game since I was like 10. And I used to talk about what Elder Scrolls 6 might be like when Skyrim was new, thinking it was going to come out in a couple of years. I remember being 11 years old or something, playing Skyrim. I remember every Friday in my primary school, which in England, if you're not in England, let me explain for you. Primary schools are from like ages 4 or 5 to like 10 or 11. Basically, it's year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, and then after that you go to secondary school, which is, I guess, like middle school, which is like year 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then when you finish year 11 you're like 16, and then you can work, you can go to college, you can do whatever, and then when you're 18 you can go to university if you want, that sort of thing. Anyway, I remember being in primary school, walking down the hill from my primary school to this secondary school, because every Friday we'd have swimming lessons, just our whole class, and I was actually a really good swimmer. Didn't get a medal, got a medal for skiing, but not swimming for some reason. But and then me and my mate, we were walking down the hill, and we talk about Skyrim because it was new every Friday. Like, oh, how to become a vampire? Oh, did you find that abandoned shack? Did you start a Dark Brotherhood? Oh, it's going to be so cool. Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be even better. When do you reckon that'll come out? 2013? I was literally saying, do you reckon it'll come out 2013 or 2014? And then my mate would be like, no, I reckon Elder Scrolls 6 will come out in like 2015. What, 2015? That's ages away. Little did I know, mate, it's not coming out to like 2027, which is crazy. Anyway, we'll move on from that. I don't really know where I was going with that. So I don't really get hyped about games unless they're games I've been looking forward to for a long time, or I'm really interested in it. Like I love Star Wars, so Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I'm hyped for that. It's basically just more of what we liked from the first Jedi game, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Atomic Heart. That looks like, I love BioShock. I literally have, that's a BioShock Infinite tattoo, mate. That's how much I love BioShock. So it's very BioShock inspired by the look of it, so I really look forward to that. The Cyberpunk DLC. So there's a lot for me to look forward to be honest with you, which is rare for me. Anyway, Dan Nerd says, I remember when AC was my favourite feature. What? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what you meant. I remember when AC was my favourite feature. It's like Star Wars. what I'm gonna take from what you said, I'm really sorry. I'm just shit at trying to figure out what people say. I'm guessing you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, you remember when AC was your favorite series. You remember it's like Star Wars, the newer stuff kind of ruined the whole thing. Is that what you're saying? So you liked AC, but now you feel like the newer stuff is kind of tarnishing your vision of the older stuff as well. If that's the case, you can't let it do that. You can't let it get to you like that, because sorry, my chair's squeaking loads. Stop. Okay. Anyway, because, those games, you loved them for the reasons you loved them, you loved the older games, I'm assuming, don't let those be ruined by bad newer games. The way I see it is, those games can never be taken away from you, no matter, how bad the future games are. They can never be taken away from you. They, as sole entities, will always be amazing and always have a place in my heart, and I'm sure will you as well. So, as much as I get what you're saying, you can't let them ruin the older games because, the older games were so good. And, just think about it like this. There was a group of people that made those older games, and these newer games are made by different people. They're different people. They're completely different. So you can't let a newer game made by a different person ruin a good thing made by someone else, It's like someone starts copying my videos on YouTube, which I actually see happen sometimes. I won't call anyone out, but I actually sometimes see people literally ripping off my thumbnails, copying the same title, and kind of talking about the same stuff. And I'm like, listen, I understand if you want to say the same stuff as me because you agree with me, but you don't have to copy my thumbnail. You don't have to copy my title. Do your own thing. That's a completely different conversation. But let's say someone's ripping off my content and making it shit. That doesn't tarnish my content because somebody else made it. But just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean it ruins the rest of YouTube, because they're still different people. I kind of see Assassin's Creed and other things like that. A really good team made the Ezio games, and a completely different team of people made the newer games that weren't as good. Just because they're under the umbrella of Assassin's Creed and under the umbrella of Ubisoft doesn't mean it's literally the same people making it. So that's how I can distinguish it and say, well, it doesn't ruin the older games for me because of that. Mr. Enigma, what a name, says, do you have any hint on when they will show gameplay? Because if the game is in June, then they must show gameplay this month. Well, yeah, as I said earlier, I do think it's probably coming out at the end of the year, gameplay in June. But I did also speculate not too long ago that the game, we talked about the leaked release date. We talked about the leaked release date, saying that it could be in June. So there's a chance. If it does release in June, you're right. We should be seeing gameplay now. We should be seeing gameplay between now and April, really. So, there's a chance. There's a chance that we might be seeing gameplay tomorrow, next week, next month. But I think it's much more likely that the game's coming out now based off of my people's opinions change all the time. I'm not changing my opinion. Well, I am changing my opinion. I'm evolving my opinion. As much as I believed what I believed when I made those videos saying it might come out in June, I'm feeling more inclined now to believe that it's probably going to be end of the year. And we're going to see gameplay around June. Which sucks because, we're all excited. We all want to see it. And June is... Well, it's not too long away. What's it now? We're nearly in March, so let's go from March, April, May, June. 3 months. That's not too bad. 3 months. We can wait that long, right? I can make videos about... I can't really milk Assassin's Creed Mirage much longer. I can do live streams like this where we talk about it, but I don't really know what else I can do when it comes to making videos about Assassin's Creed Mirage. Will it have this? Will it have that? Because I did a lot of those. And, There is one or two more ideas I have for that, but I think I'd rather wait for gameplay to come out and then make those videos, because there'll be more hype around it and more people will appreciate it and have more of a conversation about it. Especially when we see gameplay, I can actually sort of have a better opinion on what I think we'll see in the game and stuff. So I can, once we see gameplay or a gameplay trailer or what, I can carry on making those AC Mirage videos. But like, until then, how can I really keep talking about Mirage in the way I did with my, 10-minute videos and stuff, when I've talked about it all and I've said everything, It's hard. So, right now I'm working on these bigger videos, like the Hogwarts Legacy controversy video I'm working on, like the KOTOR 2 video I'm working on, like future unannounced Assassin's Creed stuff that I am working on. I still make Assassin's Creed videos, but it's hard to make Assassin's Creed videos about Mirage when we don't know, what's going on and stuff like that. What I'm going to do real quick, I'm not going to go, but I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, because I do need to go to the bathroom. So what I'll do is, I'll be like less than a minute. You guys talk in chat, ask me some questions in chat, speak amongst yourselves in chat. But yeah, ask me some questions, so when I come back, I can answer your questions about Mirage, about myself, about games in general. Any question, let me know in the chat right now. Start typing right now. You see your phone or your computer? Yeah. Start typing. Well, you don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, let me know in chat. And I will return in 1 minute. I'm just going to mute the audio so you don't hear the toilet flushing and stuff like that. Hang on. Yo. Can you guys hear me again? I hope you can. Yeah, you should be able to. Alright. Ashy says, who's your favorite AC YouTuber? Mine is Leok. I've never heard of Leok. Shall I look him up? Leok. Tenel Leok. Oh no, that's an Estonian racer. I'm guessing it's not that person. Maybe it is. Is Leok a Formula 1 racer? Or am I an idiot? Am I a massive idiot? Probably. I guess my only question is, what do you think about AC Red? I mean, what are you hoping for? We'll talk about this. Let me just double check you can hear me. Ooh, guys, I have a new match on Hinge. Oh, what a message! Let's go, mate. Let's go. Basically, I'm a single man, and sometimes you gotta get yourself out on the dating apps, on the dating scene, to see what happens. Mate, I swear on my life, yeah, I was on I can't remember what app it was, maybe like Tinder or something, and hang on, let me just double check you can hear me before I carry on talking. Oh, I got an ad. Getting myself free money right now. Yeah, pennies. Yeah, bear with me. Bear with. Yeah, we're good. I was on a Hinge, and I saw a girl, right, and I swear on my life, in her bio, it was like, I love Assassin's Creed. And I was like, no way. And I was like, I've got to swipe on her. I have to match with her. How could I not? She likes Assassin's Creed. And then I looked at her Nah, that sounds mean. I don't mean it in a mean... I honestly don't mean it in a mean way. I was looking at her pictures, and I was not really... She wasn't my type, let's just say. Like, obviously, clearly we'd have had a lot to talk about Assassin's Creed, but I couldn't see any romantic energy there for me. So I had to say no. But it was pretty cool that she put like she liked Assassin's Creed in there, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, Ashley said who's my favourite AC YouTuber. Oh, they're an AC YouTuber. What? I need to look this person up. I'm just looking up Leo K. Oh, Leo K, not Leo. Oh, he's like 20k, so he's not huge. My vision, guys. I've seen this, I think. Yeah, I think I've seen some of his videos, to be fair. Like that tribute announcement thing, I saw that. What does he talk about? Oh, he does stuff a little bit like me, like roundup. He doesn't post very often, does he? No, fair play. No, I've seen some of his videos, actually. You know, when you're doing your own research for your own stuff, you find out people that do videos like yourself. But yeah, I've never really watched him, so no, fair play. Fair enough. Oh yeah, shall I have a look who the match was? On Hinge? Please be hot. Please be good looking. Please. Oh no! No, that's mean. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean it like that. Honestly, I don't know if you guys are on any dating apps, but sometimes it matches you with people that you really don't think you would have ever swiped on. And I'm not to be mean, it's just not, it's not my type. I wouldn't have swiped on her. Oh, I get it. She's liked my image. This is on Hinge. She's liked my image, and then I can match with her if I want to. Oh, that makes so much more sense. She seems like a really nice girl. Oh, she lives in the same town as my ex, though. Got bad memories in that town, mate. Bad memories. Oh, and she says in her bio that she wants children. Now, that's completely fine, but that kind of scares me away. When they say, I want children. It's like, well, yeah, I do in like 10 years, but I wouldn't put it in my bio right now because I don't want them right now. So that's kind of scary. It's kind of sus. Kind of keep me away, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not going to show you her pictures because that would be very invasive of her privacy. But anyway, no, you didn't see. We'll carry on. Ashley says, you know how Unity is loved for its parkour? A lot of that is because of Leo's parkour and stealth videos. Oh, for real? Oh, I guess back in the day he was popping off with his parkour videos then, or something like that. Nah, fair enough. I probably seen him then. Do we talk about Assassin's Creed parkour? Do we talk about it? I've kind of talked about it many times before. I don't know. What do you guys want me to talk about when it comes to Assassin's Creed? What do you guys want me to talk about? Also, I was thinking about this when I was taking a pee, mate. If you guys have any Assassin's Creed videos, or videos in general, ideas for me, let me know, because I want to do what you guys want to see. I want to do what I want to do, but I want you guys to be enjoying it too. So. But again, you guys know my stance with AC parkour. It's my personal favourites were the older games because there was more control. It was more in-depth. It didn't look as good, but I liked it. And then Unity's parkour, I liked it. I'm not going to say I didn't like it. 14-year-old me, when I was playing it for the first time, was like, oh my god, this is next gen. This is amazing. And it was. But, as someone who's a bit older now, I can see things in a more, I guess you could say, constructive way. I don't see it just because that looks good, so that's cool. I'm a little bit more, I can see what is good and what is bad, and I can make my own judgment as I've got older and more mature, I guess. So now I look at Unity parkour and it looks good, and when I play it, it feels good. Like when I'm recording some quick gameplay footage to put in a video for you guys, sometimes I'll just jump on, I'll listen to some music, and I'll just start climbing around because I'm recording gameplay to put in the back, for footage for my videos. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. And oh, hey Darius. Good morning. It's 4:37 for me, or 4:38 for me, but good morning to you. Where are you from? And ATP, nah, it don't exist. No offense, but I have no idea what that means. Anyway, what was I saying? Mirage. No. I'm so used to saying Mirage. Oh my god. Unity parkour is fun, but to me, there was not as much of a level of depth as there was to the older games. You had less control. It was harder to back eject, side eject. It wasn't really. It was a lot more on rails. You do your animation, you climb up, you don't have too much control and freedom with cancelling it out where you want to go. And you kind of climb, and it's fun, and you can go places, you can go where you want, but it's a lot more, rather than, it's more, you know what I mean? You get less control, and it's fun, but it's different. It's completely different. Mr. Enigma, does the parkour in AC Mirage in Sequence 1, when Basim is 17 years old, is the parkour going to be slow in the beginning of the game, basically, and then improve as you go through it? Now, if I was to make a game, that's what I would do. That's good, because it shows that character development, story development, it pushes everything along, it makes sense. That's gameplay coinciding with story, and if you can meld those two together, you got a good game on your hands. Potentially. Obviously, it depends on how they would do that. Do you know what? That's a video idea. I got Mr. Enigma, thank you very much. That is a great video idea, and I will make that video. I'm going to make it into a fully fledged video. I love you. That's a great video idea, and we'll still talk about it here, but I'll make a full video about it, going into more detail actually, and what I think about that will, gameplay progress in differentiate between different sequences. I think, are Ubisoft going to do that? Maybe. Should they do that? Yeah, that would be so sick to see. No worries, Mr. Enigma. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I think it would be really interesting to see Basim develop, because, even in the trailer, he's shit at parkour, and then he gets good at it at the end. Same with fighting, same with everything. So to see that transition in gameplay it would be immersive. It would show the player, it would remind the player where they are in the game and that they're on a journey. And it would be interesting. Obviously, it depends on how they do that. You don't want to make parkour shit and really sluggish and really, hard to the point where it would put the player off. And then, have it get to the point where then it's too easy and you're like, well, there was no in between. You want to have that balance. So maybe, I guess it could be very similar to Assassin's Creed 2, where you have to learn how to, grab ledge or whatever, where you kind of swing up and grab higher up. You don't get to do that until like halfway through the game in Venice, when, forget his name, but the skinny dude teaches you how to do it. Or it's the girl that teaches you how to do it, who gets the arrow in her leg. I'm bad with names. I'm bad with names in all walks of life. I'm bad with names of characters in games. I meet somebody on the weekend, they tell me their name. 10 minutes later, I've forgotten their name. I'm bad with names, but you know what I'm saying. So perhaps it could be done similar to AC2 with Catch Ledge or Grap, whatever it was called, where, you know, you can do certain things, but you can't do certain more advanced climbing techniques until you progress through the sequences. Also, oh my god, I'm just getting so many ideas for videos right now. I need to write these down. I'm going to make a video also about, will Assassin's Creed Mirage have sequences and memories? Because that's something we don't have in the most recent games. But, you know, if they're going back to roots, are we going to see that similar format? And will we be able to replay missions? These are some great video ideas. I'm going to have to thank you guys, to be honest with you. Thank you guys for, you know, asking me these questions and helping me come up with these ideas. What am I saying? I forgot already, so I'll make notes. Will Mirage have sequences? And will Mirage have evolving gameplay mechanics, evolving parkour. Yeah, that'll do for now. That's 2 videos that we got in the bag there. Hope you guys look forward to those. Mirage needs to release ASAP. Scared they haven't showed anything. Yeah, well, Darius, if you end up deciding to go back, I don't know how long you've been watching for, but if you end up going back at some point to, you know, watch the earlier part of this stream, you'll hear me say that, you know, is there anything that they've shown? Was there loads of this? You know, what are they going to show it? Why aren't they showing it? Yeah, we talked all about that and why people are scared and, you know, kind of exactly what you've said there. So, you know, I'm sure you'll have a lot to relate to if you end up going back. Again, this episode's going to be, once we finish being live, this is going to remain on YouTube in the lives tab, so you guys can go back and forth and watch here and there. Also, I always timestamp these, you know, the next day or whenever I get the chance after the live, I'll go back and timestamp what we've talked about when, so you guys, it's just easier for you guys to watch, you know what I mean? Because I get it, for me personally, I'll watch a lot of stuff live, but then I'll be like, well, I need a break now, and I'll come back to it later when it's not live anymore, and then I'll watch it, so I get it. But I do enjoy being in the chat. It's fun. Because I actually do watch, I don't watch a ton of podcasts. I watch like 2 or 3 podcasts that you religiously watch, you know, and one of them does do it live, and it is fun to be doing it live and like they do a members only thing, so you have to pay to be in chat, which I'm not. Excuse me. But I do enjoy watching the chat and reading everything live, so. And to be honest, I know there's probably people that watch that don't really want to talk in chat, but they want to read it, they want to engage with, you know, without talking themselves. So live is fun. And I'm doing these podcast things live just because, again, I get to talk to you guys, and you guys can be just as part of the podcast as me. You know, you guys can literally go to your friends and say, you know, I'm in a podcast, because you kind of are at this point. But also, and I give you my stamp of approval to tell your friends that you are on a podcast. You're on Renaissance Radio. Yeah, but also, it's easier for me to do it live because I don't have to edit it then. Trust me, editing podcasts takes ages. You might think it's easy, and it's easy. You just watch it, and you take out certain things you kind of wish you didn't say, and you blur words, and that's about it. But when you have to sit for an hour and a half and watch it, it actually does take a while. And as I've said before, I have a different podcast that I'm on. I'll just say it, I don't care. Breeze Podcast is another podcast that I've been doing with 2 other people for like a year now. And I edit those, and they take long. So it's so good to do this live, because then I don't have to worry about it as soon as it's done. I have to worry about timestamping it, but that's it. And then I put it on Spotify, but that's it. So it's, you know, it's chill. Podcast recommendation from Ashy. Everyone listen up. Play, watch, listen, especially since you like The Last of Us so much. Oh, okay, play, watch, listen. Let me look them up. Maybe we can look them up together. Yeah, we can look them up together. This is, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, wait. Wait. Why is it showing that screen? It should be showing this screen. Hang on, bear with. Okay, so what we're going to do is... There we go. I kind of know what I'm doing with my life. Really? No. So they're gonna... What am I doing anyway? They're gonna be on YouTube. YouTube.com. Play, watch, listen. We're not obviously gonna listen to one of their podcasts because my audio doesn't work. But what we can do is I can have a look at their channel. Is it this? Yeah, they're talking about The Last of Us. Charizard. Is this her? Him? Her? Yeah, that's a girl. Cool. Yeah, I would probably enjoy this. If this is what you're talking about. Yeah, maybe I'll listen at some point. I won't subscribe. I don't really subscribe to channels on this channel too much because this is kind of my video editing channel, video uploading channel. But what I will do is I can subscribe on my account that I just use to watch stuff. So I'll probably do that, to be fair. Yeah, they're talking about episode 5. Yeah, I'll probably watch that. Thank you for the recommendation. Anyway, back to chat. Mr. Enigma. That's a cool name. I really hope they gave us a quality I really hope they give us quality side quests, not like Valhalla. If they could do both events in the streets that you could react on side quest missions. What? So you say, oh, and Ashley says Troy Baker's on the podcast. Well, I'm gonna have to watch it then, aren't I? So Mr. Enigma, you're saying you hope there's kind of more sort of side content within the game that kind of interacts with the world more than it is just kind of there and not much to do. Yeah, I get you. Like maybe perhaps you're walking through the streets of Baghdad, you see a thief steal. It's kind of like they did this in AC3, I think maybe. A thief comes around and steals an apple. He's running. The guy's chasing after him, kind of like in the trailer. By this point, you're an assassin now. You're not a thief anymore, and you're above that. So you're like, I'm not letting him go the wrong route in life. So you start chasing him. It's more of like a activity within the game. You're chasing him, and while you're chasing him, he's saying like, why are you chasing me? Get away! There's this whole sort of back and forth, and Basim's like, he's saying stuff like, you don't want to do this, and stuff. My accents are honestly awful, I know, and then you're chasing him, and then you eventually tackle him, classic AC tackle, and then it goes into this cutscene or something maybe, and he takes it off, and he's like, listen, you don't want to do this, and he's like, who do you think you are? He starts trying to fight you. You have to brawl with him. And then when you brawl with him, you finally beat him up, and he's like, please, and he's like, listen, you need to listen to me and do this, maybe join the assassins, and he just runs off all scared, and then Basim looks at himself in the mirror, and he's like, oh, I kind of just beat this kid up, and he got scared, I didn't actually help him, shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a proper cool little side quest, and that's it, but it was character development, because it shows Basim, he regrets his past. It also shows that it doesn't show Basim, it shows the player that Basim's like that. It also shows the player that Basim needs to work on his social skills. You know what I mean? It's just a stupid example, but, it would be fun to see stuff like that. So I'm with you, Mr. Enigma. And then Mr. Enigma also says, yeah, like Unity, but Unity side quest mission are bad. Yeah. To be honest with you, I didn't do too many of the side missions in Unity. I kind of just did the main stuff. And Unity had those sort of side activities where you would kill the royalists, stop the people from being robbed, and that would be it. But it wasn't really much to it, and it was kind of just it's something I'm running through the world to the next mission. Oh, kill the royalists. All right, let me run over and do it, and then it would go joing. No, it would go joing or something like that. The noise. Yeah, joing, like that noise, and then it would say activity complete, and then it level you up a little bit. Rank you up, whatever you want to call it. Let's keep our expectation low for Mirage. I mean, yeah. I'd just say keep them mid. Keep them mid. I'm not even saying you have to keep the expectations low. Keep them mid. You know what I mean? If it's a mid game, it's a mid game. If you're expecting it to be a mid game and then it's shit, you're still not going to be too let down because you're like, it was going to be mid anyway. Expect it to be mid, and then if it's really good, it really exceeds your expectations. I feel like you don't want to be like, it's going to be trash, because you don't know. And I think it's always good to have hope and to have optimism. So for me, I'm saying it's mid. It's mid. And then if it's good, it's good. You know what I mean? So, right, I think we're probably going to leave it there because I've got stuff to do before I go, and I have to go soon. We've also been going for a 1 hour 40. So, yeah, I think we'll leave it there. It was good to be back on a Friday. I enjoy this. I have my little schedule. You're like, okay, 3 p.m. UK time. On Friday, every Friday, we stream and we do the podcast. It's fun. I enjoy it. So, I'll be speaking to you guys one-to-one like this again next Friday at 3 p.m. UK time. 3 p.m. UK time every Friday. Unless I say otherwise. But if I don't say otherwise, it's 3 p.m. UK time every Friday. And if you guys aren't in the UK, double check what time that will be for you. And then you'll know. You'll know straight away. You won't even have to double check back. You'll know that I'll be there. When Assassin's Creed Mirage finally releases, we are going to stream the shit out of that game. We're going to stream the entire game, and obviously I'll be making notes for videos as we stream and stuff like that, but it's going to be great fun. So stay tuned for the future of, this channel and Assassin's Creed Mirage, and when Assassin's Creed Mirage is all done and said for, I've made all my videos, we'll move on and we'll evolve from there, but that's going to be, down the line, and hopefully I would have made a name for myself on YouTube by then, hopefully. So, one last question from Mr. Enigma. Are you okay with AC Mirage being 17 to 20 hours long? For me, I want it to be 25 hours long. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I look at games like AC Revelations, a very short story, but in my opinion, the best Assassin's Creed story ever told was AC Revelations. That's my opinion. That's the way I see it. Feel free to disagree, but that's what I think. And that was such a short game, but it's the most beloved game to me and to a lot of people, and it just does it right. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be medium size. Okay, I'm going to be a bit disappointed if it's only 4 hours long, obviously, but if it's long enough to keep me engaged, long enough to keep me playing for 1 week straight for hours on end and really enjoy it, I'm happy. And then I can go back and replay it in months' time. I can explore the world, find out different little things. If I can do all this and have a good time, I'm happy with it being a shorter game. With a shorter game, if it's good, that you're going to have a good time and that's it. You're not going to have filler content like Valhalla and Odyssey. You're not going to be bored half the time and interested half the time. You're going to be in for a good ride as long as the gameplay and story and everything is solid. So yeah, I'm cool with it. Lowly says, I'm kind of hoping that if Loki corrupts our character, we do bad things by accident, and then Basim has to deal with that as a character. Yeah, I mean, again, character development, weave that in with the gameplay. Maybe, obviously, you can't assassinate a civilian for no reason. It's against the tenets of the Creed, but maybe it also says it's more than that with Basim. Obviously, he really believes in the Creed, so it's that, but then it's also... here's something. Maybe because Loki was a little bit, I don't know if you wouldn't call him evil, but he had a darker side. Maybe, something happens in the story where an innocent dies, and that's due to Loki coming out of Basim a bit more. But then there's that back and forth between Basim and Loki. Loki being a bit darker, not being afraid to kill, people that maybe don't deserve it if it serves an agenda. Whereas Basim is like, no innocence, never. And there's that sort of, he starts to hate himself and fight with himself, torn between two personalities and two different beliefs. That would be cool. And we're going to end it there because we could keep going for hours. Mr. Enigma says he agrees with Lowly there. It's a good idea. Yeah, we're going to leave it there, all right? We're going to leave it there. As I said, I've got some things I have to do before I go later, and we've been going for long enough. So... I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, next week we will be back again, and I will be releasing the Hogwarts Legacy Controversy news wrap-up video that I'm in the process of making in hopefully the next few days, probably early next week. Also, I'm going to be doing those Assassin's Creed videos you guys helped me come up with ideas for, and I'm doing another AC Mirage video that I won't say what it is because I want to keep it a surprise, and we're going to be doing stuff from there. Anyway, yeah, love you guys. I will see you soon. May the fire understanding guide us. I will see you soon. Goodbye. Again, I've now got to end the stream, and I should have said it earlier, and you get it, Alright, love you guys.